After 3 long weeks of waiting, Formula One is finally back in action at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. The 18th round of the 2024 season promises to shake up the championship with the sprint format, bringing an extra dose of excitement and unpredictability. With only one practice session before the sprint qualifying, teams had to work against the clock to get their cars dialed in. The COTA, known for its challenging layout that combines high-speed corners, technical sections, and fast straights, once again tests the driver's skills and the ingenuity of the teams. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to subscribe now and turn on notifications. This way, you'll stay up to date with all the analyses and news from the world of Formula One. Now, let's get to it. The only practice session before the sprint qualifying brought some interesting surprises. Ferrari, which has been showing good pace in recent races, topped the timesheets with Carlos Sainz leading, closely followed by his teammate Charles Leclerc. The gap between the two? Just 21 thousandths of a second, showing how tight things are within the Italian team. But don't think Red Bull was far behind. Max Verstappen, the current championship leader, posted the third fastest time, just 0.253 seconds behind Sainz. McLaren, the season's breakout star, also showed they're here to fight. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri secured 4th and 5th places. Meanwhile, Mercedes seems to be slightly behind the front runners. Lewis Hamilton managed the 6th fastest time, with George Russell right behind in 7th. The German team brought significant updates for this weekend, so there is still hope that they can improve as they fine-tune the car for the track conditions. An honorable mention goes to Haas, racing on home soil. Kevin Magnussen surprised everyone with an impressive 8th place, while Nico Hülkenberg wasn't far behind in 11th. Will we see the American team scoring points on their home turf? Moving on to the sprint qualifying, Red Bull showed why they're still the team to beat, but not without a few tense moments. Max Verstappen, in a display of pure skill, claimed pole position for the sprint race with a time of 1:32.833. However, the margin of victory was incredibly slim, just 0.012 seconds ahead of George Russell from Mercedes. What makes Verstappen's performance even more impressive is that he reported struggles with the car absorbing the circuit's bumps. COTA is known for its bumpy surface, and it seems Red Bull is still searching for the ideal setup to handle these conditions. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the Milton Keynes team. Sergio Perez, who has been having a challenging season, disappointed once again. The Mexican driver was eliminated in SQ2 and will start only 11th for the sprint race. This performance gap between Red Bull's drivers has been a recurring theme this season. Behind the scenes, rumors about an alleged ride height adjustment device on Red Bull's car continue to swirl. The team denied any wrongdoing, but agreed to make changes after discussions with the FIA. This topic is sure to be a point of debate throughout the weekend. Mercedes arrived in Austin with high expectations, bringing a significant update package for the W15. And it seems that, at least for George Russell, these updates are paying off. The young Brit surprised everyone by almost stealing pole position from Verstappen, finishing just 0.0112 seconds behind the Dutchman. Russell showed confidence throughout the session, consistently improving his times and looking very comfortable with the changes implemented on the car. This result is a breath of fresh air for the Brackley team, which has struggled to remain consistently at the top this season. However, on the other side of the garage, the story was quite different. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, faced considerable difficulties and finished only in 7th place. The Briton seemed to struggle with the car's balance, especially in high-speed corners and corner exits. The discrepancy between the two Mercedes drivers raises some interesting questions. Did Russell simply adapt better to the updates? Or is Hamilton still searching for the ideal setup for his driving style? In any case, the team will certainly have a busy night analyzing data and trying to optimize both cars' performance for the sprint race and the main qualifying on Saturday. Team principal Toto Wolff was cautiously optimistic after the session. George did a fantastic job today, and it shows the potential of our update package. We still have work to do with Lewis's car, but we're confident we can make significant progress before the sprint race, Wolff said. With Russell on the front row and Hamilton in the midfield, Mercedes will need to adopt different strategies for their drivers in the sprint race. It will be fascinating to see how the team navigates these challenges and whether they can capitalize on the apparent step forward made with the new updates. Now let's talk about McLaren, the team that has been the sensation of the season. Expectations were high for the Woking team's performance this weekend, especially after they brought some updates to COTA. However, the results from sprint qualifying were, at the very least, mixed. Lando Norris, maintaining his impressive consistency, managed to secure 4th place on the grid for the sprint race. While it's not the pole position the team was aiming for, this position puts Norris in a favorable spot to challenge the leaders, especially given the race pace McLaren has shown in recent rounds. However, the real shock came with Oscar Piastri. The young Australian, who has been impressing everyone in his rookie season, faced a significant setback. Piastri was eliminated in SQ1 due to a track limits violation, having his fastest time deleted. As a result, he will start only 16th for the sprint race, a position that certainly does not reflect the potential of the car or the driver. This stark contrast between the two McLaren drivers raises interesting questions about the pressure of the sprint format. With only one practice session before qualifying, the margin for error is minimal, and Piastri, unfortunately, paid the price for a small mistake. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella commented on the situation. "We are, of course, disappointed with Oscar's result, but we trust in his ability to recover. As for Lando, his position gives us a good platform to fight for crucial points in the sprint." It's worth noting that despite the updates the team brought for this race, they did not include modifications to the car's floor. This decision might have been crucial, considering the unique challenge that COTA presents with its bumps and elevation changes. Moving on to Ferrari, the Italian team seems to be maintaining the positive momentum from recent races. Charles Leclerc, once again demonstrating his ability to extract the maximum from the car in a single lap, secured 3rd place on the grid for the sprint race. This result is particularly encouraging for Ferrari, considering the team didn't bring significant updates for this weekend. Instead, they are focusing on assessing the progress made with the updates introduced at Monza and Singapore. It appears this approach is paying off, with the SF24 proving competitive on a track that demands a balanced aerodynamic package. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, wasn't far behind his teammate, securing 5th place on the grid. This solid performance from both drivers puts Ferrari in a strong position for the sprint race, with the potential to score important points in the Constructors' Championship. With the stage set for the sprint race, expectations are sky high. The battle at the front between Verstappen and Russell promises to be intense, with Leclerc waiting in the wings, ready to pounce on any opportunity. Norris, starting 4th, will certainly try to get into the fight for the podium, while Sainz aims to maintain his spot in the top 5. But it's not just the front runners that deserve attention. Piastri's recovery from 16th place will be one of the focal points of the sprint race. Similarly, Perez, starting 11th, will need to show his overtaking skills to minimize damage in the championship. In short, this United States Grand Prix is shaping up to be one of the most thrilling of the season. With the championship fight still tight, every point earned could make the difference. Thank you for watching and see you next time.